Hello everyone, it's Corinna Arnold here. Hope you're doing well today. This is your December energy update. I'm actually recording this on November 17th. We've got a lot of things going on in the next couple weeks, as most of you probably do with Christmas coming. So I wanted to just tune in while we had time here to see what it is that December is going to be bringing us energetically. As always, this is a new format, so I'm not going live. I will be live hopefully next week with you as part of my Christmas gift. And anyone who follows me on Facebook, make sure you go on Facebook, because you know I love doing my special gifts and draws to y'all during the month of December. So make sure you're watching me on here, because you will be seeing lots of opportunities to win lots of stuff from me, because I love giving. But on this one, we're going to go straight into the December energy update. And what I've done is I've pulled the cards. I haven't tuned into the cards yet. What I'll do is I'll tune into them live with you, because as I'm doing this reading, because I like to be able to channel the information through. As you know, I don't read it by the book. I channel in what's coming. So let's see what's going on for us here as we delve into the December energy. I want to talk a little bit about November energy before we start. Of course, I'm only on November 17th when I'm writing this. How the rest of the next couple of weeks are going to go, I don't know. I said writing it, didn't I? That's interesting. While I'm recording this. I wonder why I said writing. So anyways, while I'm recording this, November's been an interesting energy. Lots of introspective work, lots of looking within, lots of shadow work specifically for me. And I have a VIP lounge that we work with people, and a lot of people were struggling through this month. A lot of lessons, a lot of resetting boundaries, a lot of having to tune in to see what's right for us, what's not right for us. One of the themes that keeps coming up through this whole year is learning about discernment. And I think that's an important word as we start to navigate towards 2020. What does discernment look like? And what is it to live an authentic life with discernment as kind of the underlying piece? What am I okay with energetically? What do I stand for energetically? What am I projecting energetically out into the field? Who do I have energetically around me? There's something here going on about discernment and sweeping up stuff in November to really get clarity on how we're moving forward into December, into 2020. So lots of heart work being done, lots of heart expansion as this new frequency came in particular on that 1111 gateway. They keep bringing energy in that's blowing our heart centers open and bringing the frequency of love and compassion in to really heighten our awareness of other potentialities within these dimensions that are expanding for us. So that being said, as that new energy is coming in, we are sweeping the house in more ways than one. And that has been an interesting process, and sometimes a challenging process in November. So I'm excited to see what December is going to bring us here. I'm excited to have kind of a sneak peek a couple weeks in advance to maybe hold on to some hope, because I do feel a hopeful energy here. And I'm all about the hope right now. We need to keep hope in our hearts and know that this isn't something that lasts forever. And one of the things that came through on the October energy update was we need to ride the wave. And that's one statement that has stayed with me through these last few weeks, is we need to ride the wave. And that's certainly what I've been doing, is surrendering into it and ride the wave. The one thing that they've been talking to me about that they just want me to share with you is that as we ride the wave, part of riding the wave is surrendering to the fact that we're not always going to be up. There's downs when we ride the wave too. And surrendering into that as part of the process. There's no expectation here from the divine for all of us to be up. And sometimes when we're in this, what people like to call the ascension path, or path back to the one, or ascending to a higher vibration, We always should ourselves a lot about saying we shouldn't be feeling bad, we shouldn't be feeling angry, we shouldn't be feeling tired, we shouldn't be... Well, why not? You're here and you're going through a human experience, and we're riding the wave of that experience. And when we got that message in the last energy update about riding the wave, and I literally feel a joy in that energy. Can we be joyful in riding the wave? Even as challenging as it has been, and I've had a couple of dark nights of the soul here, I just kept hearing that message, ride the wave. Just surrender into it. Just go with it and ride the wave and let it take you. Let it sweep out everything that needs to be swept out. Let me look at everything that needs to be healed and looked at. And know that the wave always comes back to a crest, right? So waves, this is one thing about waves. They just keep coming, and you just keep riding them, and you keep riding them. So let's see what the December wave is going to bring us. All right, so the first card we got was... and this is ArchAngel Metatron deck. And I'm going to actually, this month, I'm actually going to put all the decks underneath here in the information to let you guys know which decks I'm using, because a lot of you ask questions on that. You send me private messages and stuff about what deck was that. So I'll try to touch on all the decks, but I think it'll be easier if I just put the links here below. So I'll commit to that this month. So the first card that we got was your Warrior of Light. So... you know, what I'm hearing is what we're doing is, this is interesting because they're showing me the sword. We're also sharpening our tools of light work, is what they just said to me. And that's what we're going to continue doing in the month of December, is we're actually sharpening our tools. We're all warriors of light. And there is a charged energy of now we're moving forward in alignment, in discernment, as we raise collective consciousness on the earth plane. You know, if you're here, that means you're a warrior of light. If you're listening to me, that means you're a warrior of light. And this is what we've come here to do. They're talking about last month when they talked about being a change agent, and I'll certainly talk about that more in other videos of what that means. But we're change agents here on earth, and the vibration that we're allowing into our field, bringing into our heart center as these new light codes and frequencies have come in, that has ignited within us this warrior energy. And it's interesting why they're calling it warrior, because, and I talked about this in my VIP lounge, I had my live today, and we were talking about the discomfort that comes for empaths and beings such as us that come with a high vibration frequency of light in that discernment piece, and about standing up for boundaries. And we're learning to do that in a more loving way. What works for me, what doesn't work for me, it's really being a warrior for light. And sometimes that means that's the line in the sand. I'm not letting you cross that. That's poor behavior. You're not allowed to do that around my field. When I think in the past, there's been this underlying philosophy for light workers that if we just send them love and light, everything's good. And you know what I'm learning through this experience is the divine is showing us discernment. What are you allowing into your field, and what are you making excuses for other people's behavior, maybe your own behavior? You're a warrior of light, and that means you're charged with the tools, and you've got to cut the cords, and you've got to make sure that your boundaries are clear. So sometimes there's discomfort in that because we don't know actually how to navigate that through that with grace and love, because it can feel like anger or being triggered. But that just means we need to look at another boundary that needs to be reset. So what is your frequency of love that you're bringing in? And make sure you hold that frequency, and you hold that frequency with secure boundaries. So hold the light. We're charged this month again to make sure that we're holding the light and we're being a warrior for truth. That's interesting. They just said a warrior for truth, and a warrior for conscious decision making going forward, which is what they just said to me. That's interesting. So the next card that we got, of course, is Go with the Flow. This is certainly backing on to the November energy update where it was all about ride the wave, go with the flow. This is a reminder that there is the requirement to still move forward, keep moving forward, but making sure that you're in the flow of divine consciousness as you do that. Making sure that you're tapping into that piece of yourself, that soul's essence of yourself, that's guiding you to a higher potentiality for yourself and the others around you. So just let the universe take you in the sense of listening to internal guidance systems is what they just told me, and making sure that we're just not resisting what's happening and what the changes that are coming, and understanding that change is inevitable and we need to release and surrender into it and just continue to go with the flow. Change is inevitable. They just repeated that statement for me again. Change is inevitable, and this is what we're really starting to see here as we navigate through these new energies. The next card that we got was Hidden Realms, create consciousness awareness. Well, the one thing that they're saying to me as I'm holding this card is there's certainly things that are going to be witnessed and seen and unraveled, or what they're showing me is where it's been covered up, it's going to be uncovered. And we need to make, so there's something in particular, I feel something around politics in December actually. Something's going to be witnessed or uncovered in the arena of politics. But of course, then they said there's much, and it's much bigger than that. They keep showing me tentacles as it creeps out from that kind of particular hotspot. But they want to make sure that as we're starting to open up and become more conscious, and we awaken to other things that have been going on in this earth plane, we continue to hold in the energy of light and make sure that we're coming from a place of love and compassion. That we're bringing conscious awareness to that situation as a state of consciousness and compassion rather than resistance and anger, because what could be ignited in us is resistance and anger. And they've said this message through me before, so this must be an important one that's coming up again. As we start to witness these changes, we need to make sure that we're coming as the darkness is witnessed, is what they're just saying to me. We need to make sure that we come from a place of compassion and love towards it. That doesn't mean lack of boundaries. That's why we're getting discernment lessons here about being really discerning about what we're allowing and not allowing in our energy fields. But there is definitely making sure that we're coming with a heart-centered, expansive, compassionate frequency when these things start to be exposed. Thank you. What they just said to me is that's one of the reasons why all this different frequency and vibration has actually been coming through to our heart center. That is why we've had to expand our capacity for love and our capacity for compassion, because we're going to have to hold space for what's unraveling and what is actually going to be witnessed and seen. And so we can't do that if our capacity to hold love and compassion is not fully ignited. And so that's what's been happening throughout the last year through different types of light codes and energy, this self-awareness, this opening of the heart center to be able to hold a higher frequency of love. The other thing that I can see unfolding, just quickly looking at it, is there's lots of messages in December around manifestation, and I'll go through all the cards. So the first one is Blossoming Abundance. The next one is Isis. I'm just going to go through these ones quickly because they're all going to say the same thing. Magic and manifestation. Dreams are coming true. Archangel Orion came forward, manifesting miracles. There's lots here about manifestation right now. They want me to hold this card up. So the other card that we got was Dream Big. And this was your self-care card. So there's lots going on right now about there are unseen forces that are ready to support you, and to make sure that you're releasing limiting belief systems. And actually what they're saying is as we've been sweeping the house through the month of September, October, November is what they're saying, is what we've been doing is going in and actually looking at our limited belief systems that need to be released. And what they're engaging within us as we're opening up our heart center is they're also opening up our manifestation center. And as we start going from 3D to 5D, what they're talking about is we're able to actually manifest in a much more rapid pace. And some of you may have already started to see this, where you're seeing a number of synchronicities come faster. You think about something, all of a sudden it happens. You're wondering about this, all of a sudden it happens. There's something here about, and this is why we've had to sweep the house, because we got to make sure we're clear our energy is clear because we're going to be manifesting no matter what. And so when people talk about manifesting, they're always thinking about manifesting all the good stuff in life, which is wonderful because that's definitely, there's a limited potential for manifesting anything your heart desires, is what they just said to me. But why they've wanted us to sweep the house and get clarity is because you're also going to be manifesting anything that's in your energy field, that's saturated in your energy field. And there's no such thing as good manifestation, bad manifestation. It's just experience, is what they just said. But think about where your energy field at is what you're going to be bringing to you in a much more rapid pace here as we get into 5D vibration and dimensional experiences. So they want you to make sure that your house is clean and your house is clear. And that's just going to keep expanding in a more and more rapid pace as we go into 2020. It's all about manifestation and co-creation with the divine. This is the energy that's coming in. And you're co-creating a new earth, is what they just said. We're all co-creating a new earth here. So what is it that we want to hold for a vision for the new earth? Because that's the doorway that's opened. Because they've been talking a lot about that doorway that's open. The doorway is open, is what they just said. Many of you have walked through. Now what? Now what are you doing? Get clear on what you want to manifest. Get clear in sweeping your house. Get clear what's still residing within you that's not at your highest potential. And it's all about manifestation and blossoming abundance in your life. I keep hearing the word miracles, 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 because that's how some of it's going to be witnessed by some of us. That they'll keep seeing what they're going to call miracles happen on earth very rapidly. And it's just going to keep happening quickly for everyone. So they keep talking about clarity. Make sure you're clear. Make sure your energy is clear. Because there's a massive potential for co-creating everything your heart desires very quickly here. The other message that they're talking about this month, about you having to sit in remembrance of that you are deserving of all of this. Because we come from a place, of these hidden realms, of these hidden messages, about this hidden programming, that there's this message in hidden programming that there's a limited amount of abundance, that there's limits to everything in this world. And also there's been encoding within some of us generationally through the DNA that you're not deserving of such, that you're a certain type of background, cultural background. Some of us have always been whatever they call blue collar, hardworking people, hands on the earth, farmers, all that kind of stuff, where there's been a message about, certain people have abundance and certain people don't, is what they want to say. And what they want to say is we need to release that and know that that's untrue. And so we're releasing that from our energy fields as well in these limiting belief systems that we've been programmed. They just want to say, and I know it'll be hard for you guys to, and you'll see it when we pop up the card, but they're focusing in on Isis's eyes here, because they just wanted to underline these two words at the bottom of the card is stay focused. Again, that's that discernment piece, but you need to stay focused on where your energy is and what's manifesting around you as an immediate reflection of how you need to reattune your energy. Allow what's manifesting around you not to be defeating if you're seeing it, but to be empowering. Allow it to empower you to see how you can realign your energy frequency to bring a higher alignment of manifestation of what your heart truly desires. Sometimes they're saying when we get down on ourselves, when we see certain things are manifesting or re-manifesting in our lives, or we see cycles, and what they're saying is you need to be grateful, actually, first that you're aware enough to witness it. How amazing of that is that you can be aware enough to witness it. But all that is truly the miracle of observation that something within your energy frequency still needs to be looked at, still needs to be healed. Is it old programming? Is it past karmic stuff that needs to come forward? Are you supporting another dimensional version of yourself that's still being healed? What here is happening that you can take a look at and tune into? Rather than frustration, they want to go to a place of gratitude when we see things coming to us again and again and again. The other card that came forward is Surrender Now, a moth spirit. And it's interesting because I'm seeing a moth in this picture too. I think these two cards are linked. To me, this looks like a moth energy again. We need to surrender to what it is that's coming forward and what it is we're going to be witnessing. And just knowing that it's all happening exactly the way it should be is what I just heard. So just surrender to what is happening now, to the change that's happening now, to the chaos that's happening now. And I know a lot of you have been feeling that. A lot of chaotic, panicked energy. Just surrender to that energy and know that it's not going to be here forever. This is just a frequency that's out there. As this new frequency has come in, there's a disruptive energy that's happening. So this is just a surrender to what's happening now. And again, go with the flow of what's coming through right now, of what's happening in your life right now, and just surrender into it. And I just feel like it's reminding you this month, in the month of December, that everything's unfolding in divine timing. Every single thing is unfolding in divine timing. The other thing that they want to remind you of this month is receiving and surrender to receiving and support and love. So I always ask for a card about surrender. What do we surrender into? What do we surrender out of? And they want me to actually read the words on the card. So it says, allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So I can't remember what we said in the month of November in the energy updates, but certainly within all my VIP lives and little videos I do every week, community is absolutely essential right now, and being discerning in the energy and the people that you have in your space is absolutely essential. One of the messages that came through this morning for the VIP lounge was, make sure you have people around you that lift your chin up. That even when you're kind of looking down, which we all do, and struggling internally, we've got people around us that say, look up, be proud of yourself, look up, look at the bigger picture. Those support systems right now are very important. They just said to me, we cannot say this enough, the importance of community and of bringing like energy together. And they just said to me, it's like the warriors of light have to all come together, because when we come together, when we have light communities of people together, there's an expansion of energy. So whether it's here on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's in your own community, whether it's in your friends and family, whatever that looks like, maybe it's your church, whatever that looks like for you, where you feel a place where your head is held high and you're reminded to look at the bigger picture. Allow that to be the foundational piece that continues to support you. Although they're saying that you are never alone and the divine is always with you and guiding you, there is something about having the concrete, tangible connection, the interconnection with those other beings of light that are here with you right now. They cannot say that, they just keep saying to me, we cannot tell you enough how important this is. Because think about a flame. Flame always holds light, which we're all holding light. Think about when another flame comes into a room, and another, if one flame does put light out into the room. But think about when a second light flame comes into a dark room, and they're showing me a third light coming into a dark room and a fourth light coming. The illumination within the room keeps expanding. The illumination keeps getting higher and higher and higher in brightness, right? In frequency is what they're saying. So as we come together and work together and collaborate together, collaboration is a huge thing right now. It expands the energy tenfold automatically. And also reminds you that you're not alone in your experience, because some of this process of ascension can feel very lonely, because you're wondering, am I the only one that feels this? They're just saying, you wonder to yourself sometimes, am I going crazy? Like, is this craziness? Like, why am I feeling this? Why am I seeing it? When you have those people that you can reflect that off of, you realize you're not alone. And there's a power in that right now, both in expansion of energy and both in supporting this process that we're all going through, making sure you're supported. So the final card is the crystal card, and those that watch me often, you'll know that I always read this out loud. So it's citrine is the crystal that came forward. So let me just quickly look that up. Number 17. So this is joyful expression, exuberance and happiness, letting go of all negativity. Wow, that's interesting. Now is the time for you to be you and experience the tremendous joy available to you. With all the hard work you do to overcome old patterns, healing the wounds of the past, forgive yourself and others as you walk the healing path, you might find that you've forgotten how to just have fun and laugh. Be happy today, right? So we've all been going through this, again, this healing path, this scrubbing out, this sweeping out the old cobwebs, all this stuff that's been going on. But one of the things that they always want to remind you of, I wish when you see this card, when we put it up, hopefully you can focus in on the face. It's a very happy face, is we need to remember to tap in to amplify the joy in life, that there is joy here for us all. So citrine spirit is here. Okay, there's the words, to amplify the joy in life. So feel it and express it as you are broadcasting to the entire planet, because you are joy. However serious life may feel, the conscious universe really wants us all to have fun. So you're doing important work when you exuberantly share your joy with the world. Make time for playfulness and joy this month. Okay. So I just read that, and look at what the card is here, is sitting on the top of one of the card decks. Playfulness. So I'm just going to take this as a confirmation that this is important in the month of December. Make sure you're going and playing and having fun. It's been interesting because, last December, and I was just talking to Tyler about this, is last December, I was not really into Christmas for some reason, and I'm a Christmas buff. I have 2 Christmas trees. I literally have 25 to 30 bins of Christmas stuff. Drives my boys crazy. They gotta haul it up every year, and anyways, they love it once it's all out, but it's a 2-week production to get it out in my house. And last year, for some reason, I was really, which is unlike me, was struggling to get there. And it's interesting because in the last couple of weeks, I just feel like I want to get it up earlier. And when we were talking about it, I kept feeling like it was, it's because we need some joy. And for the most part, except for some people that find Christmas challenging, it really does tap into that childlike joy piece, I've got gaudy glitter all over and shiny lights and Santa Clauses and angels all over the place, and it just brings me joy and happiness to see it. It has an energy of joy and happiness. I have words like joy hanging on my trees. I think it's an important energy we need around us right now. We need to be reminded that there's lots to be grateful for. There's lots of joy energy here for us. And they just showed me it's like we can pluck joy from the tree. I don't know why they just showed me that, but it's like we can literally pluck joy out of the tree. So enjoy being with your families in December. Really surrender into the innocence and childlike. I don't know why they're showing me watching the movie Rudolph, the old movie that we used to watch as kids. Sit down with your children if you have children, or sit down and just watch that movie by yourself, or, bring back that sense of innocence and joy back into your field, and allow December, rather than being a month of stress or a month of, worry on, the money to buy things, come back to a sense of joy. Find that innocence of the child that used to love to lay under the tree and look at the lights. Go back to that place is what they're encouraging you to do this December. Anything else that they want to have? Yeah, they just said to me, go have fun. So this playfulness card is obviously a card that's important right now. Lots of ability to manifest. Keep opening, blowing your heart open. Keep letting those new light codes come in. And know that you are the co-creator with the divine. What do you want to manifest here? Especially as we're going into 2020. That's an interesting message that they're bringing forward in December. Discernment, clarity, that you can manifest anything. Dream big. Remember, you're a warrior of light. What are you here to co-create this month? All right, beloveds. Much love to you. We will see you in January. And in January, we're going to actually do the full year to see what the January 2020 year is going to bring in for us all. And of course, I usually have a few predictions in that video as well as I tune into the whole year of 2020 and see what that ride's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. Tap into joy this month. Go have some fun. It's there for you. Much love to you. Take care.